Welcome everyone to the live stream. It is so good to be back with all of you again. All right. You guys see me? Hopefully this is working. Hey. So, welcome to Powered by Rainbows and our first live stream of April. I know it's been a while since I've seen all of you. But it's so good to be back on and to share this wonderful, bright and sunny day out with you. So today, during the entire live stream, just so everyone is aware, we're going to be talking about some major announcements for PBR and a whole lot more. You can see some of them down there. But also keep in mind, during tonight's entire program, you can support PBR and our weekly LGBTQ education on our platform by becoming a member of our channel to see behind-the-scenes exclusive access. You can see bloopers and outtakes from every single episode, and you get credit at the end of every episode. So, yeah, we started a little bit sooner than what I was planning on to, because today Becca or Chris was really supposed to join us today during the live stream, but he got called away to work, so that's why we're kind of starting up a little bit early. Wait, so you want chat in what? Slow-mo? I don't want that. If it gets out of hand, I'll put it in slow-mo. So just keep in mind that on today's entire episode, you can become a member and get all those exclusive benefits. A lot of our members right now aren't actually taking advantage of all the benefits that they're offered every single week, and seeing the bloopers and all that kind of stuff. So if you're missing them, go to our community tab on our channel, and you can see all of the community posts with behind the scenes and bloopers. So all that is available right now, by the way. And also, Super Chats are available today on the live stream, just for a simple reminder for everyone. As we get started, $1 today. We're going to go through the chat, the perks, really quick. Super Chat perks. $1, you get a shout out and a special thank you. $5, we get the puppy ears to come on the live stream. $10, you get your name listed in a community post later on today, thanking you for your yes, Law and Order is crazy, for your super chat. And so if you want your name listed in a community post later on today, then you can check that out. Also, I just had it's cinnamon rolls, so that's why I have icing. I'm sorry, I really messed up the beginning of the stream, didn't I? And so then collectively, what we have today for you guys is $25 collective in super chats today. We're going to give you a spoiler for an episode coming in May. And then $100 total. It doesn't have to be from one specific person, but $100 total. Then we're going to do a giveaway to someone on the someone from the super chats is going to get a giveaway of my brand new book, Shadow's First Christmas. So you're going to get a copy of this. It's not going to be a signed copy, but it's just going to be a regular copy you'll get for being a super chat donor. So that's collective. So what's going on, guys? It's so exciting to be back on and to talk with all of you. Oh, man. It is so exciting. I have been waiting to go live for a long time. And you have no idea how busy we are behind the scenes getting ready for June. And June is just crazy. We have 3 episodes a week coming in June. It's gonna be frantic at hell in June. Yeah. So yeah. Also, today is Happy Youth HIV Awareness Day. Yes. Thank you for the reminder. this entire month is STD Awareness Month, so I know some of our members and our I know some of our viewers out there don't appreciate the adult side of things, but it is really important for us to cover some topics like that, because if we don't, people grow up into this world. And I'll give you a quick example here. So when I was growing up into knowing I was gay, and my entire childhood was filled with people telling me how straight relationships work, just in general. Like, oh, you go on a date with a girl, and you buy her a ticket for the movies or whatever, and with all of this rhetoric, it's not that it's wrong to hear how you go on a straight date, but it's wrong to not hear how you go on a gay date beside that, as a parallel to that. Because throughout my entire school life, back when I was younger, that's all I heard was, "Hey, this is this is how it works, and that's the only way it works." And so that makes people think, well, maybe that's the way I'm supposed to be, and it's wrong for being gay. It's wrong to have these feelings about guys, And I remember in high school, I had a health teacher who really did help with the fact that I was gay. So I'll give you a quick little story when we get to the announcements. Let's get to those first, because they're really exciting. Google and YouTube doesn't make switching accounts easy for trans people. Okay. Yeah. Switching your name on your YouTube channel is kind of easy. I've never tried it for Power Rainbows, but I've tried it for other channels. But so coming up this month, huge things while we have a lot of people on the chat here. On April 23rd, on yeah, and ace relationships are the same way, rebellious. We don't hear about those at all either. So on International Day of Silence, which we're partnering with a bunch of other organizations, including Glesson. Glesson is running the whole program. But on that day, it's a day of silence where people go to school and they stay silent in protest for LGBTQ education. And basically, it's in protest because our school system doesn't teach anything about LGBTQ people at all in our history classes and our literature classes, so on and so forth. And so we basically stay silent that entire day because we're kept silent the rest of our lives, And it's a great movement that's happening on that day, but the only thing we are going to do. So on April 23rd, you'll see a special live stream from us for 24 hours. We're going to be streaming on this channel on April 23rd, a special thing. And we can't say what that is yet, but it's already uploaded. It's already ready. 24 hours. It's going to be going from midnight, 12:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on April 23rd to 11:59 p.m. It's going to be streaming on this channel that entire time. So 24 hours of content there. But we can't say what that is yet for National Day of Silence. But on the same day, the only thing we are doing vocally on that day. Hi, Richard. How's it going? Also, by the way, if you haven't seen already, members on the channel do get the ability to have special icons next to their name, and their names in chat are a different color than everyone else. So thank you so much to Richard for becoming a member of our channel and supporting our LGBTQ education platform. And also, Richard is is the first person that reached out to me and said, "Hey, do you need any help making the show? Not just financially, but any other help?" And so he is becoming a producer of our channel as of May. So he's going to help us with some research and I don't know, other stuff. I don't know what I have a weird way of with all. We have 9 team members now. Nine people are behind the show now. And with with each of them, Richard can kind of tell you more about this in our. We have a Facebook group just for the producers and writers of the show, called PBR Writers Room, and I'm extremely lucky because in the very beginning of the show we didn't have anyone helping, and now people are reaching out to me and saying, "Hey, do you need any help making this show?" Because they see how hard it is, and they also just want to help with our cause. And I'm so lucky for that, but at the same time I feel bad anytime I'm asking one of the producers, like, "Hey, can you work on this episode?" Or like, "Hey, can you start researching this topic for like 2 months from now?" I feel so bad because I'm not used to having a team that I lead, but also more importantly here, none of our producers or writers are paid on the show yet, because we're not at that point yet. And so there's a lot of times where I'm like, "Hey, writers, what topic do you want to work on?" Like it's we have a list. We have Richard has access to the spreadsheet on this now. But we have a list of about 100 ideas for the show that you guys have given us, that we've thought of over the years. All members are green until I think a couple months into their membership, and it changes color. So we actually set it up where it changes color as to the rainbow. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, the longer you're a member, the more different color you have as your name. But green is the starting color for the first, I think, 6 months, and we haven't had memberships open for 6 months yet. So everyone's under that blanket right now. But anyway, so anytime I'm working on a topic, I'm like, hey, writers, do you mind working on some sort of script or some sort of research? I don't know which. I really don't know which topic you want to cover, and I feel so bad because I feel bad asking people that are volunteering to say to them, "Hey, work on this." Like, and if I told a writer to work on a specific project, I feel like I would have to pay them for that. But because they're volunteering, I'm like, "Hey, what do you want to work on? What do you want to spend your time on?" That's sort of where I'm at in the writer's room right now. I'm very hesitant to be like a boss, because I'm not a boss. I'm just like the host. And I don't want to be the boss for everyone. I don't want to be the guy that's like the bossy type. I want to be the friend type to all these people. So, but we are incredibly lucky to have a growing team now. So that's a thing. So thank you, Richard, for that. What was I going to... Okay, anyway, back to the announcement. Richard distracted me. Anyway, also, he's a very nice guy if you ever get to talk to him. But so what we're doing now on April 23rd, right there, a Pride event, a little bit away from where I live, reached out to me, and they proposed this idea to me about 2 months. No, January. They proposed this idea to me, and I'm finally able to talk about it now. This is how long things take to plan out. But so they want to do an online book signing, a virtual book signing with me, where basically that night on their YouTube channel and on their Facebook page, we're going to be going live from the PBR studios here. And we're going to be reading the entire book, Shadow's First Christmas, from beginning to end, in the announcement video back in December. By gay boy Elixir Mini Crushes. So back in December, I really only read the first like half of the book because We wanted people to like buy the book for the ending of like we want a cliffhanger on the book. But on their channel and on April 23rd, on International Day of Silence, we're going to be reading the entire book from beginning to end. And after the book is fully read, and we show you some illustrations from the book as well, we're going to be doing a whole book reading, and then after that, we're going to be doing a live Q&A session with the audience on that platform. So in the coming week here, I'll be sharing the event page for their live stream, and that way you can tune in live with us and ask any questions you have about the book, about LGBTQ activism, about all that kind of good stuff. So also, we're going to have some information for you for part 2 to that book of Shadow's First Christmas. We'll have some more information on part 2, the second edition of that book, come April 23rd. Just want to put that out there. So that's exciting. And we'll get to the next thing in just a second here. We have questions coming in. Weird question, but doesn't Pride Month start June 1st? Please answer. I'm wondering. I really want to go to a Pride parade to show off my true colors. Yes. So LGBTQ Pride Month starts on June 1st through the 31st there. It's all month long. But here on our channel, we're able to do whatever we want. So we're going to be taking an extra couple days and celebrating an extra little bit. Also, in June, our celebration begins May 28th because that's the Friday before June. We won't have an episode on June 1st itself, so we actually want to start that celebration the Friday beforehand, and that way we don't miss you guys for a day. But as soon as June starts, we have 3 episodes coming out every single week, the entire month of June, and that way you can enjoy way more content from us all June long. So there you go. I do not play Dungeons and Dragons. Just it's not a game that I really got into over the years, but I play a lot more other games. So our celebration begins May 28th, but we have a bunch more content for you guys. We're going to have... Can I tell you guys what we're going to have yet? I think I can. I think it's not preemptive. Yeah, I think I can share this with you. All right, so we're going to have 2 short films come out in June. And my team is probably watching this right now and hating on me because I just announced that, and that means they really have to work. But 2 short films, I believe. One I believe is going to be on conversion therapy. The other one on Stonewall Inn in New York City, and we're also planning. I do not know if this is going to happen in time. Please don't hold me to this. We were thinking about doing an LGBTQIA plus prom this year. But we were like, all right, so what would we do for an LGBTQ prom, you know? Because a lot of people can't go to their prom in school. You know, what can we do on our end? And the truth is, it would be incredibly hard for us to do that because of YouTube copyright laws. So we can play all the music we want to, and we can do whatever we want live, but the problem is any kind of like program like that would have to be pre-recorded. And so for that sort of thing, any music we use would have to be copyright free. And the only way to do that is either copyright-free music that we purchase for the show, such as the song that you hear in the beginning of all of our episodes. That song is a copyright-free, royalty-free music track that we use, which are kind of generic, sometimes at full length. When you're only using a little clip of it, it's fine, but at full length, it would be kind of boring for people, I think, without any lyrics. So The other thing we were thinking is original music, because I have 300 plus original songs. Why not do some of them for the thing? And so that's sort of our thought process. But then we were like, Richard, I gotta head out and run some errands. I'll watch the stream back later. Oh, thank you. Love you so much too. Thank you so much for being here. Um, and so we were thinking that, but here's the thing: we had a better idea. And you can tell us if you like this idea or not. But rather than doing a prom where we would have all these logistical problems with music, we were thinking, why not just do a pride event of our own? So that is in the works. It is something, a big project that we are thinking about right now. It is nowhere near like, hey, this is going to be on this certain date. But it will hopefully, I'm hoping, be in June. So that's what we're thinking right now. And if we can get it together in time, that would be amazing. We're calling on all sorts of contacts to make that happen. But that is all, like, maybe it won't happen this year. Maybe it will happen next year. I do not know at this point. But what I can tell you is the Pride event that we broadcasted last year in Pottsville, that is happening again this year on July 17th. We'll be broadcasting that July 18th for you guys. So all of that is still, we're still going to have a Pride event on the channel, if not more than one, definitely, because more events are being planned very shortly here. If Reading Pride celebrates, if they choose to do their Pride event this year, because COVID restrictions are being lightened now because so many people are getting vaccinated. But if they do theirs, I'm already in contact with them for this event on April 23rd, and hopefully we will get full broadcasting rights for that event as well. So you very well may see more than one event at a time, or more than one Pride event, but we're working on our own, completely our own Pride event too. So that's something for you guys. Now, I'll get to this in a second. We have more questions coming in. Man, how y'all minors finding ways to go to Pride with not really accepting parents? It's difficult to do that. And definitely it's difficult to find a way to get to a Pride event. But I would say celebrate online with organizations like ours, because you can go to a Pride event or you can watch one online all day with us. So that's sort of why we're broadcasting Pride events so much anymore, is because we know people want to see Pride events. We know people want to go, but they aren't always able to. Plus, this year we have cameramen. So we'll be actually utilizing a bunch more equipment this year to do that. And that means we get to not just broadcast the live stage of what's happening, but go to each individual booth and interview the people at those organizations, see what they're all about, and it will make it feel like you're actually at that Pride event in person, and you're going booth to booth. So the only thing you're missing out on is all the free swag that they give out to everyone, which for some people, they can't have swag because if they bring it home, their parents would get really mad at them for being out of the closet. So we're trying to do as much as we can to bring Pride to everyone. I have an idea to come out to my family with my new name. So I have sticky notes in my room, and I want to do a flippy thing and see what my family thinks. And my new name is Lapis. Awesome. It's an awesome way to come out. And to have them hopefully accept your new name. Matt, is there a sexuality where you do like all genders, but do... Wait, what? Matt, is there a sexuality where you like all genders, but do you care about gender like pan? I would still say that's pansexual. Because yeah, pansexual means you like someone regardless of gender, but it doesn't mean it's that you don't care about gender. You know, I you got to understand with all of these terminology things, it's a label, and the thing about a label is it's a blanket term, just like demisexual. For myself, I consider myself a demisexual. With demi, it's rebellious has omni. Omni. What's omni? Is omnisexual is involving, related to, or characterized by a diverse sexual propensity. Omni is pan with preference. Okay, that's. Thank you, rebellious. But you gotta understand, even with that, like all of these terms are blanket terms. So, like demisexual for myself, technically it means that I'm only attracted to someone after an emotional. I'm only sexually attracted to someone after an emotional connection is built up with that person. But for me, I'm sort of somewhere in the middle spectrum of that, between demi and full gay, because for me, first off, I'm only attracted to men, and secondly, I can be attracted to them and I can go, oh, they look hot or they look cute, but then at that moment, I need an emotional connection with them in order to actually go to bed with them. So it's a spectrum, and so it's a thing where any of these labels that we have in our community, any of the 94 pride flags that we have, all of them are spectrums and should not be taken as strictly as you think they should be taken sometimes. So you can call yourself by a label and go, okay, that's a spectrum, But that's sort of where I would go with it. But yes, omni is the word for you. Matt, guess what? I came out to my dad and his side of the family. He is way better than he was. He is way better than he was, and he accepted me. Awesome! Congratulations, Socially Awkward. I know you haven't been on in a while, so congratulations. Also, welcome back. Everyone, hey everyone. I am currently trying to also Socially Awkward. That's the kind of story we like to hear, because it's like you have no idea how many times in the comments of our videos we see people who don't have an accepting family. So I greatly appreciate you bringing that up, because it makes me feel so much better about the work we're doing. We need to hear stories like that every so often to make all of the other times we have to worry about families not accepting. You need those good stories every once in a while to keep your faith up and to keep your hope up. So thank you. Hey everyone, I am currently trying to get my school sexist dress code changed. If possible, do you think you guys could sign and share this? Any kind of petition and stuff like that, really in this kind of community, we would love to, but at the same time, it's more of a petition you would need your school members to sign and people locally to sign. We would... any kind of petitions that we share here are the national ones or international ones, because we kind of have that audience. A lot of people, put it this way, if you're from, let's say, California in the United States, and I signed it from Pennsylvania, your school district in California is going to say, hey, half the people that signed this are from Pennsylvania. They're not even in our school district. Like, we don't have to listen to their votes, so that's kind of what I would say to that. But we definitely do support what you're trying to do. I'm not trying to put it down at all. I'm just letting you know how petitions kind of work there. How are you going to do it with COVID? What do you mean do what with COVID? The Pride event? We're not having an in-person Pride event. That's not happening. We're having an online Pride event, completely online, where we invite people on to the stream here, and they can talk for a little bit. We're gonna have some live musicians play, kind of stuff. All that is gonna be online and edited beforehand. with the Pride event in July, that's an in-person Pride event, but everyone that's going to that Pride event is required to have a vaccination card before they enter that event. And if needed, we're going to still follow all regulations there of socially distancing 6 feet. And that's part of the reason why we wanted to broadcast it, because when you're socially distancing, that means not as many people can come in person. And so we wanted to broadcast that to even more. And with it, we have to also wear masks if that's still required by July. People in Pennsylvania, just so you know, are expected to be, everyone that wants to be vaccinated is expected to be vaccinated by the middle of May right now. And so we're hoping that by July enough people are vaccinated that it offers us what's called herd immunity. And basically that means that we can have events hopefully in July without as many regulations and without as much worry. But the event organizers and our team at PBR, we're all working together to make that happen, where even if it is restricted again with that Pride event, like last year, with the Pride event that we broadcasted last year, there's a reason why we had our own staging equipment bringing us up away from people. We also socially distanced the entire time with our team. We follow much stricter regulations because we're an event company, and we have to follow the law by the book. And so there was a bunch of things behind the scenes you didn't see, such as our equipment and staff were actually like a couple feet into the air. So that way we were away from everyone else and we could socially distance. But at the same time, our cameras being there helped greatly in bringing it to a much bigger audience. So that way, if people were still afraid of COVID back in June of 2020, which was kind of at the height of the whole COVID thing, and we're still in COVID, I'm not saying it's over yet, but back in June of 2020, we were really, really bad in Pennsylvania. So we basically said to anyone, if you're fearing for your life, you don't want to come to this event because it is kind of scary, we're going to have a film crew there. And we're going to broadcast the entire thing for free for people, and that way you can enjoy it at home. So we always think about COVID regulations and safety protocols. Here at my company, the number one thing we always think about is safety over profits. We've said that from day one of this whole thing. We were one of the first companies to shut down when COVID was breaking out in the United States. So we're always thinking of it. We've lost, like the first week of the pandemic, we lost over $10,000 in 1 week at our company. And it was just so damaging to my personal life. And at the same time, I thought I had COVID. I went to the hospital because we did an event in, I'm not going to say which schools specifically because then you'll kind of know whereabouts I live. But for safety protocols, we can't say that. But I will say that the 2 days before Pennsylvania school shut down, we went to one school district that had a COVID case that we didn't know about. The day before it shut down, we went to another school district that also had a COVID case that we didn't know about. And then the very next day, everything in Pennsylvania shut down. The very next day after that, I found out both the schools I just went to had COVID cases, and they didn't tell anyone. And then that Saturday, this was like on a Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Saturday, I went to the hospital near where I live because I had a horrible cough, and turns out I had some sort of infection in my lungs. So it was just a simple thing of like, hey, you need an inhaler for a couple days to get better. But I thought, well, these are the symptoms of COVID. So I went to get tested, and turns out it was negative, so I'd never had COVID, which is really good. Cross my fingers and never have it, but because I'm vaccinated now. But up until when I was vaccinated, at least partially here, with my first dose right now, it was a major fear for me. And so with it, at the same time of me thinking that day on Saturday that, hey, we have, I might have COVID myself. I also was shutting my business down on that Saturday and telling clients, hey, here's your money back for all these events we were planning on filming and doing. So in the same day of me going to the hospital thinking I have COVID, I had to give back over $10,000. So there's I don't think a whole lot of people in this country that I haven't seen COVID cases firsthand like healthcare workers have, but my industry has been just ravaged by this. So that's why right after the pandemic started, I started working and putting everything I had into the YouTube channel here. So that way I at least had something to occupy my mind while I wasn't making any money. I couldn't afford rent or food or anything for a long time there, and I was like, hey, let me just pour everything I have into this YouTube channel and try to help other people and spend my time wisely. So there's not a whole lot of people in the industry or in general that took safety as harshly as we did, but we always said that safety is number one over profits. I don't care about losing $10,000 overnight. I care about people's lives. So I years ago we saw the Indianapolis State Fair. If you're aware of this story, what happened was there was a stage event for a band called Sugarland, where they're a fantastic band, by the way, but their staging company back then sucked. So it had this entire roof system of a big trussing system for all the lights and sound equipment, and it actually fell on people because the event people that were organizing the thing chose not to listen to the local weather authorities and the police that said, this event is not safe to have with this amount of wind. The stage fell on people, killed 6 people. They ended up on the cover of a bunch of magazines because of their negligence, and they ended up getting sued for a bunch of money. They ended up just ruining their business overnight. But I've long said that safety is more important than profits because I don't want to hurt people. I'm here to help people in my industry and entertain people, make people happy. And I'm not here to do that. I'm not here to end up on the cover of a magazine for a bad reason. If I end up on the cover of a magazine, I want it to be Professor Pride. I don't want it to be, hey, this guy just killed a bunch of people. There's not a whole lot of people in the industry that take safety more cautiously than our company does, and I'm very lucky for that. Everyone that comes on board with our team, including our producers, has to understand that. So that's kind of how we're dealing with the COVID for that event coming up. I have a question. Is there a sexuality called pan-curious? I've been questioning my sexuality a lot lately, but I'm just not sure. So I would say that's pansexual questioning. Yeah. You guys have been typing a lot while I was talking. Is furry a part of the LGBTQ? No. So, I missed a couple questions. I'm sorry. I'll get back to them. So furry, a majority of furries are LGBTQ, but it's not officially part of the community. It's just we here on our show, we support furries as well and offer furry positivity because I just also happen to be a furry. And I don't want to say a specific number of our producers, but some of our producers are furries as well. I don't want to out them as that. I'm just going to say that that's why we offer furry positivity here, is because we fully believe in that, and so it's not officially part of the LGBTQ, but we definitely support one another. Hey Matt, it's been quite a bit since I watched the live stream. Oh yeah, I know, it's been so long since I've done a live stream. It's so good to be back. Um, I don't think so because it's a fandom. The furry fandom is a fandom based on common interest of anthropomorphic animals. You're right. Um, so I got my first vaccination shot the other day. I'm still awaiting the second one a couple weeks from now. But as soon as I'm fully vaccinated, that means I can go back to a little bit of work. What do you mean by you're furry phobic? Are you afraid of furries? I'm not going to hurt you, okay? Uh, I just happen to be a puppy. So you guys know, in our Discord server, some people were confused earlier, and because my name on there is Papamonte, and they're like, "How come this Papamonte is like the one moderating everything and the one everyone reaches out to for help when something happens?" And I'm like, "Because that's my furry name is Papamonte Deloso. It means puppy. I'm a Labrador Retriever, puppy." But no, so I'm a Labrador Retriever named Papamonte Deloso. Amante Deloso in Italian means bone lover, which is a pun for those of you who are gay. But yeah. Are my parents right when they say I can't experience attraction to the same gender because I'm too young? Hell no. You can be 3-4 years old and already know you're gay. So to hell with that. I was 11 when I had my first real crush on someone, and that's when I knew for sure that I was gay. But I know plenty of people that have crushes way younger than that, and already know. So as you might have seen a music video recently on our channel called "Valid," and in it I basically say it's valid to come out as trans. It's only just a matter of time. And that's the thing. We know that we are LGBTQ from very early on in our lives. It's only just a matter of time until we tell people about it. Coming out is not turning gay. It's not turning trans. It's just telling people who we are. That's what coming out is. So that's what we have to understand. And other people do have to understand that too. So I think furries are cool. They seem like they would be lots of fun. I would like to try a furry costume. They're so much fun. Furry costumes are so much fun. Yeah, I have one. I don't wear it on camera too much. I did for International Puppy Day, but I don't really wear it too much for the camera. But yeah, it's really fun to be a furry, and it's not as, because some people would try to scare you with it. It's not as scary as you think. It's just like, hey, I'm a puppy. I want to be in that headspace. I want to forget about being a human for a couple hours, and I don't want to worry about work. I don't want to worry about life. I don't want to worry about all of this other stuff. I'm a puppy, and all I have to worry about is puppy things, or puppy things. So it's kind of easier. So it's more of a headspace than anything else. Are my parents just found this channel today, and I love what you all are doing. Thank you for being here and doing what you do. Well, awesome, Adam Mabe. Thanks for being here, and thanks for checking us out. We have weekly LGBTQ episodes, weekly LGBTQ educational episodes, I should say. And we I just saw that come through. Chloe's like, Matt Haslam, activist by day, Papamonte by night. Yes, you're totally right. Okay, so like I said, it's more of a headspace. So us puppies, I'll go to, like, every night when you go to sleep, when you go to sleep, you always think about something that puts your mind at ease right before you go to bed, as you're trying to fall asleep at night, right? So for me, that headspace is like, oh, I'm just a puppy, and so I'll wear my collar every night to bed, and I don't care. It puts me in the headspace, and it's like I'm literally Papamonte by night. So going back to that, thank you so much for checking out our channel. We have all sorts of different content. Can you believe we have over 300 episodes now? That's incredible. So 300 episodes we have. Oh God, how many hours of content do we have? Oh, I don't even. Okay, so we are officially making our 346th episode right now. That's going to come out on May 7th. That's going to be our 346th episode. And we officially have 193.854 hours of content on our channel. That's a lot. So yeah, we have a lot of content for you to check out. It's so cool. Like in the very beginning of our show, to think that, and this kind of ties into our next thing. Before we get to our next question, we don't have a Twitch channel, by the way, not yet. Working on it, but I don't think I'll stream on there too much. I just want to have it so that no one else takes the name, kind of thing. Sorry, I need to keep hydrated, y'all. I will get to like all your other questions in just a second. We have to finish this. I pointed way over here. I don't know why I pointed way over here, and I meant to point right there. So, because this ties into that. So, I had this conversation with Michaela Gavelitz, who was on our show a couple weeks ago with the trans activist interview. She also runs the Pottsville Pride event that we're broadcasting. She's an amazing woman, by the way. But I think back to my childhood, and I remember in school we were never taught anything about being gay. We were never... We were taught about George Washington. We never heard how he was bisexual. We were taught how, Jesus was this wonderful guy that, was the only son of God. And we never figured out that he was bisexual too. And so we were taught all these things in school, but never about the LGBTQ side of it. And that's on purpose, because the less they teach you of how normal this is, the more you grow up in society thinking, hey, that's not normal, that's not okay. And that starts homophobia, transphobia, biphobia, and aphobia. And that starts all of that very early on in your childhood. So sort of when I think back to the beginning of this channel, I wanted to create a platform where we help just one kid out there come out of the closet a little bit easier. And I started it right after, I talked about this in a recent episode, but I went to a Pride event in Washington, D.C., and on the way home from that, my best friend at the time, or my best friend still nowadays, I should say, she falls asleep, and I start thinking to myself, well, here's all these kids that could really use this information, and so maybe I want to start a channel for it, And at the time, I already had a couple TV shows running already, because the parent company, my company that owns Powered by Rainbows, has 5 channels, right? So this is our fifth show that we've run, and so at the time it was kind of crazy to think about, and so I started planning the first couple things, and I'm like, I want to do a coming out video because I want to help people. Like I saw a bunch of coming out videos to help me come out of the closet, and so I want to do a coming out video. I want to do a bunch of different things with the show, but I really only had a small little tiny budget to do it, and I said, well, let me do a 10 episode run. And that's all we're ever going to do. It's just 10 episodes. That's it. I want to do coming out advice. I want to do my coming out story. I want to do tips on how to, get dates and stuff. And it's going to be 10 episodes done forever. And I think back to that time, and I realize, well, we've come a long way from then. And our goal is not complete yet. We did help lots of people come out of the closet, but now that we helped one, I want to help everyone. I want to get to a point where you don't have to come out as LGBTQ. You just are accepted for being it. So until that goal is reached, we're still going to keep fighting on with education. Also, affects, AFEXTS, affects, says Black Trans Lives Matter. You are completely right there. And thank you for your super chat on that. Thank you so much. Goes to helping us make LGBTQ education in all schools and everywhere. It goes to help us make so much great content to come. But when I think back to the beginning of the show, I think, well, that was our initial goal. And then after the first 10 episodes, I realized this has a lot of potential. And kind of what changed the show, I will tell you, what changed it for me was over Christmas holiday, we were still broadcasting the final episodes of PBR. It was going to be the final episodes we ever had on the show. All of a sudden, and it was from then on just going to be a vlog channel where we just basically vlogged and told you about my boyfriend and I together or whatever. Whenever I had a boyfriend, I was going to vlog a little bit on our dates and show you a little bit of our relationship, you know? That was going to be it. That was everything PBR was supposed to be. Well, over Christmas holiday, we're still broadcasting our final episodes of PBR, and we're like, hey, so and I had this conversation with my dad, and he goes to me, well, I believe in what you're doing. First, you have to know that. My dad is one of the biggest supporters of my career, of my work, of everything I've ever done. He's the biggest supporter I have. But he said to me, I just want to make sure you're doing this for the right reasons. And I know you're lonely at the moment and you don't have a boyfriend. And I want to make sure that you're not just doing this to get famous. You're not just doing this for the money. And you're not just trying to be the next big face of gay, of the gay movement just to get a boyfriend. Because if you get your name out there enough as a gay person who's lonely, chances are someone out there who's gay as well will say, hey, I want to be your boyfriend. And so here was this conversation where basically he was making sure I was on that right path. But I told him, that's not what PBR is about. First off, at the time, we had, I think, 20 or 30 subscribers because we were just starting out. So we didn't have monetization. I had no way of sponsoring the show. I really had no foreseeable plans to have it monetized because it was supposed to end at the first 10 episodes. And I told him, I'm like, I'm not trying to be famous off this. This is not my show. Like, this is... yeah, my name is on it, but I'm just trying to help people, you know? And I remember that conversation, and it led to the first ever op-ed of our show. So the first episode of season 2 ended up being an op-ed called Next Big Face of Gay, where I explained that I'm not after the money on this. I'm not after the... I'm not after the money. I'm not after the fame on this. I'm after helping people. I'm trying to help just one kid out there. And so then right after that, I did the Pride Flags episode that ended up being the biggest episode we've ever done. So I did one more episode that was going to be it again until I was bored again. And so then I got bored and I was like, hey, I was really bored at the moment, so I'm like, I'm just gonna do a couple more episodes just for the heck of it, and then y'all just like blew me away. Over the next year, I was putting a little bit of work into PBR, but not much, and then all of a sudden we started to really get some traction, and really I started seeing the comments from you guys, and those first initial 100 subscribers really kept telling me how much the videos I came out with helped them. And so that's why every spare moment I had, I was working on PBR now, and I was like, this is what I got. This is what I got to do, Then the pandemic started, and I just put everything I had into this channel. Like, you have no idea. As soon as the pandemic started, PBR, like I told you a couple moments ago, that week we lost $10,000 of business overnight. But what you don't know on the other end of that was we spent a good 10,000 more and poured it into PBR. Because we were like, we need to do this. And this needs to be the thing we work on over this pandemic series, because I know a lot of people are going to be at home. They're going to need this help. We need to do this. If people are going to be home from school and not being taught the other stuff that they need to know, we need to teach them the LGBTQ stuff they need to know. So that's sort of our mentality at that time. So sort of what that leads into is our first ever masterclass on the channel. What do you need advice with, Kishi? Okay, so I'm going to quickly go over some comments, then we'll get back to the masterclass thing, because I have to get to the masterclass. I already came out, but do you have any advice for me? If you already came out, we have plenty of advice. What kind of advice do you need, Sophie? He helped me figure out I was demisexual. Awesome. Well, congratulations on being demi. It's an awesome space to be in. Is there a way to come out as trans to my parents without actually saying it? Of course there is. So you can come out and you can basically just hint to them certain things of like, hey, rather than coming out fully, you can just say to them, hey, rather than calling me she or him or something, could you call me they instead? And just casually bring up these things in the conversation whenever they say your name. Just be like, hey, can you call me this other name for right now? Just as a nickname, right? And just bring it in slowly like that and see if they're okay with calling you a nickname at first, and then over time tell them that that's what you want your real name to be. But on that kind of front, the interview with Michaela Gavelitz, that's going to help you a lot more than my personal advice on that topic, because I'm not trans myself. So that's why we bring experts on the show to help you a lot more in those spaces. So go check that out already if you haven't already. I know it's a long interview, but it's definitely worthwhile watching. Anyway, I can convince my parents to allow me on hormone blockers and coming out as trans female to male. Again, that's going to be in that interview with Michaela. But with it, to convince your parents to be on hormone blockers, it is kind of tough sometimes. I will grant you that. You really have to go to them with this whole thing of, hey, I want to see a therapist first, because that's what you need in order to get on hormone blockers, is a therapist, and then be recommended to a doctor, and then the doctor recommends you be on hormone blockers. It's a long process. Just know that nothing's going to happen overnight, but I would just speak to them and be like, hey, so look up gender therapists in your area. In the interview with Michaela, we specify exactly what that title is of the doctor. I don't remember it offhand, but I would look up that. We're going to be doing another episode on trans stuff very, very soon, about in beginning of June, because all of April is already filmed, and May is pretty much already written. So, because we work like a month or two in advance all the time, but we're working on an episode about the whole the regulations regarding transgenderism and the gender expression process, the transition there. So we're going to be talking about the regulations that they have, and that will help you more. But with the hormone blockers, I would just go to your parents and be like, hey, I want to see this doctor. I want to see this therapist, and mention to them, hey, I'm not really feeling like a man, sorry, I'm not really feeling like a woman right now because you said you're female to male. I'd just be like, hey, I'm not really feeling too feminine. I feel more masculine than that. So I want to go see this therapist. That might help a little bit. Just, again, test the waters before you jump all the way in there and make sure it's going to be safe for you to do that. You also help me come out, and I love your channel. I think I might just subscribe. You inspire me. Awesome. Well, yeah, definitely do subscribe if you like what we do here. What I tell people all the time is, if you're not out of the closet yet, if your parents are homophobic, transphobic, or whatever, you don't have to subscribe, which is something no other YouTuber really says out there, but I do understand our channel is called Powered Rainbows. We have LGBTQ stuff in our header. We have all of our episodes are pertaining to this one topic, which is something unique to YouTube. A lot of other YouTubers kind of like sporadically give advice in a matter of a vlog or some other bigger episode, bigger video. We concentrate strictly on the education, which is something that we're doing that's proprietary, well, not proprietary, it's something unique to our channel, and that's why we're successful at it to a certain extent, and that's why YouTube sponsored us last year in June, and that's why YouTube and Google have already promised to sponsor us again this year. So we're able to get these massive organizations to help us do things because we strictly concentrate on the education side. And with that, I understand if you subscribe to our channel pops up on your subscriptions list. And so if your parents ever go through your YouTube account to check up on you, maybe it wouldn't be the best idea for you to subscribe to a channel like this. And just be aware, we post episodes every single Friday. Every Friday at 6 a.m., brand new episodes air. Sometimes we have extra episodes airing on Mondays or Wednesdays. During Pride Month, we're going to have episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, and you cannot subscribe to the channel, just keep checking in to our channel every so often for new episodes there. So I'm one of the very few YouTubers out there that will say you don't have to subscribe if you cannot subscribe. I understand it's dangerous sometimes to subscribe to a channel like this because of homophobic or transphobic family members. So just keep that in mind, but please do subscribe if you can, because that way you get notified for all new episodes. I thought I was an ally, then I'm just trying to go through things. I'm sorry. I'm trying to catch up, but then I have to get to the thing. Because y'all type so fast and you're like, oh, yeah. All right. So I really want to talk about the masterclass really quick, and then we'll get back to the questions. I promise we'll get back to the questions, but I really have to cover this masterclass because it's a major thing for us. Oh yeah. Another tip from Oliver is create another Google account so you can watch this kind of thing. That is very, very good advice there. Also on that front, in the beginning of April, we announced that we're going to have a new policy on the channel here. All of our producers all agreed on this, and we think it's a great idea. We hope that you do as well. But April is STD Awareness Month, and there are certain topics that we want to cover this month that are more of an adult type nature. For instance, next week we have 2 episodes coming out on Friday. Huge thing there. And yes, if you want advice on how to come out of the closet, we do have an entire playlist on our channel called Coming Out Advice. So there's that. And Pastry already gave us the link for the trans activist interview. Thank you so much, Rebellious, for paying attention there. I'm kind of busy, as you can see. So we have 2 episodes airing on Friday. One of them is the story behind the handkerchief code, and the other is telling you what all the colors mean about the hanky code. And so the one telling you about what they all mean is only going to be available to those 18 or over on a Google account of someone that's 18 and over. So basically, we're giving you the ability to, and that's okay. Rebellious, that's okay. If you're uncomfortable about sex videos, that's fine. We're never going to show sex videos, by the way. That's not a thing we're doing on the channel. First off, it's illegal for us to do because we're not an X-rated company. But with the topics that we're doing, we want to cover certain topics that I needed to know as a child. For instance, back in my middle school days, we had a sex ed course, and I'm not going to get into the details here, by the way, Rebellious, so you can keep watching. But you have to understand, like, when you're in a health class and you're only hearing how straight relationships work, how babies are made, all this other stuff, it's so difficult to keep hearing that, but not hear how your relationship will work someday. Not hear anything about adoption, not hear anything about how a gay couple acts together, any of that. It's so difficult to go through school and not hear anything about your relationship. So what I decided to do on the channel here is like 4 episodes that we can do it on. We're going to do 2 sides of things. So this is a multi-front thing for us. So next week, you're going to see 2 episodes air at the same exact time on our channel, Friday at 6 a.m. So one is on the story of the handkerchief code, and you'll be able to hear all about how the hanky code came about, what colors, why we chose to use colors, and why we chose to use handkerchiefs as our way to signal to each other that we're gay. It's nothing sexual, by the way. It's just a matter of, like, this is where the story came from the old Western days and the cowboy days of the California Gold Rush. We have a whole skit that we're going to perform during that video on Friday, next Friday. That episode's airing, and you get to see me in a cowboy hat, which is kind of cool. Which takes me back to my old days of being a country music singer-songwriter. So it really took me back to the old days of that, and it was really awesome to do that video and that skit. But on that front, we decided to make one episode where you can watch it at any age. I promise it is safe for everyone, because you're only hearing about the history and the story of why we chose to use handkerchiefs and where that story originated from in the old cowboy days. The other episode that's airing is going to be rated R, because it's only talking about what the colors mean nowadays. Because back in the day, the colors meant completely different things that we cover in the story of the whole thing. And the story is a very safe story of, like, red, I believe, meant that the cowboys wanted to take the male part in the lead role in the dance. Blue meant you wanted to take the girl's part in the dance because there weren't any girls in town back in the old cowboy days. So the colors meant very different things back in the day, and they also meant, like, you could wear a certain color a certain day, and it meant that you're gay, and it hid that from the police. Back when the LGBTQ movement was happening, it protected you to know, hey, I can talk to this person. It's safe to talk to them about being gay because they're wearing this color handkerchief. And it became a code where everyone in town wore a certain color a certain day, and that way the police never caught on to this whole ruse, and that way it was safe to talk to that person, but it wasn't safe to talk to this other person that didn't know the code because they weren't gay. They were police undercover trying to catch you talking about it and trying to arrest you. So it was this very secret code. It was very interesting. But nowadays, those colors mean something completely different. And so we go over the story in one episode, and the other episode, we're going over what those colors mean nowadays. And that video only is rated R, and that one's going to be available to only those over 18 on Google accounts over 18. We're not going to reprimand anyone that fakes it to Google and tricks Google into thinking you're 18 years old. By the way, we're not going to reprimand anyone or report anyone there. But please know, if you go to watch that video and you're tricking YouTube into thinking you're 18 years old, then you're entering that video at your own risk then. And don't complain to us about it then. But I will say, so that's one thing where we wanted to cover both sides of it properly, because I think as an educator, if I left out half the story, it would be detrimental to you as well. I feel like leaving out half the story is not doing a topic justice, and as an educator, I have the responsibility to tell the whole story. And I feel like as a kid, that's the story I needed to hear. So that brings me to our first ever masterclass on April 30th. So we decided to do something big. Probably one of the biggest things we've done. It's one of the most costly episodes we've ever produced, because we needed a lot of different props for it. But you'll be seeing the trailer for that masterclass 15 minutes before it goes live. So at 6 a.m., we come out with the official trailer for that entire masterclass, and then at 6:15 a.m., you're going to see the entire masterclass. So basically, there were, I'll keep this very safe and very short, but back in school, in my middle school health class, I had this teacher called Mrs. B. I'm just going to leave it at that, because otherwise you'll find out which town I went to school in. Anyway, so Mrs. B offered us a way to ask questions, anything health related, of like, hey, how many vegetables do I need to eat in order to stay healthy? Are carrots really good for your eyesight? Yes, they are. And any kind of health questions you had, you could ask in this anonymous way. So basically, every Thursday at the beginning of class, she handed out 8.5 by 11 blank sheets of printer paper to everyone in class. And she said to everyone, if you have any questions at all about anything health related, then you can write them on the sheet of paper and submit that paper at the very end of at the end of class. On your way out the door, just drop your sheet of paper folded up into this bin at the door before you go to your next class, right? And she said to everyone, no matter if you have a question or not, you have to write something on this sheet of paper by the end of class. And that way it remains anonymous. So you can write, hi, Mrs. B, how is your day? Something very stupid like that, if you really didn't have any health-related questions. But if you had health-related questions, you had this opportunity to write a question and ask anonymously, so no one else in class knew you were asking this question. Well, as a gay man, knowing I had this huge crush on Alex, which I talk about in an episode, Childhood Signs I Was Gay, knowing I had this huge crush on him and other guys at the time, I started to think to myself, well, here's my opportunity to ask questions that I don't know the answer to. I heard from my grandmother that my uncle, Jeffrey Blake, who I talk about in an episode called, in a short film I created called Blake, Being Gay in 1946 Compared to Now, that aired at the beginning of season 3 of our show last year. But yes, we're going to have a masterclass ad. That's coming out at 6 a.m. there. So that's going to come out then. But with it, I asked my teacher, well, with Blake, Jeffrey Blake, my uncle, he died from AIDS-related causes, and according to my grandmother. And so I thought to myself, I'm like, well, gay people, like, we can't get STDs because we're gay. Like, you can't get pregnant, so why do you have to worry about STDs? And as a 12, 13-year-old kid, I didn't know all the information I have now, but and so I asked my teacher, my health teacher, in this anonymous way with the pieces of paper, I'm like, can gay people still get STDs? And I'm like, well, I want to know these things. Like, I need to know these things someday because I need to protect myself. I need to know if can gay people still have a child together? Like, I didn't know anything about adoption at the time, and so I had to ask these questions through this anonymous way. And my teacher was very good about it, where she answered all the questions in class, but after a while she noticed after a while she noticed the handwriting I was writing all my questions in, and she compared it to the test that we all took. And so she calls me after class one day and she's like, hey, Matt, so I think I recognize your handwriting. And I'm like, okay, I write on every single test that you give us. And no one else is in the classroom at this time. And she's like, so I noticed you keep asking questions about being gay. And she goes, and I swear to you, like, this is the closest that I can possibly quote someone that said something to me back when I was, very, very young. But she goes, I'm not going to out you, and I don't want to out you to everyone. And so I'm not even going to ask you if you're gay. I don't need to know that information. But I know you're curious, at the very least. And so if you have any questions about being gay, about gay sex, about gay relationships, anything that I can help you with, all you have to do is write them on that sheet of paper. But here's the thing. If I keep answering those questions in class in front of everyone else, eventually someone's going to catch on to the fact that someone in class is gay. And eventually they're going to narrow it down to you. It doesn't matter if you tell them or not, they're going to eventually narrow it down. And so she goes, what I can do is ask all the questions you want, and just conveniently at the end of class on Fridays, when I answer all these questions, be the last person out of the room. Because I know you have lunch period next, and you can stay after class, make it look like you're packing up your things very, very slowly, and then just be the last person out of the classroom, and I'll answer all those questions for you. Take as much time as you need to answer all those questions, and then I'll write you a little note, and that way the people in the lunchroom know that it's acceptable for you to be late, that you were staying after class with me and I was talking to you. So any questions you have, I'll answer them, not around the rest of the class, because otherwise it's going to out you as gay. Even if you're just curious at this point, that's fine, but as long as you know that it's safe to ask me those questions, I want to keep you safe too. And so she was an incredible teacher, one of the best teachers I've ever had in my whole life. And that's what kind of set in motion. For the past year, I've been wanting to do a masterclass of gay relationships. I want to teach not just on an episode basis certain parts. I want to teach you everything, all in one class. And I wanted a class that it was safe to put this class on your projector in school. I wanted a class where it was safe for your teacher in school to put this on the projector in front of the whole classroom and play the whole thing, for you to learn everything you need to know about gay relationships all in one masterclass, all in one video. And I didn't want it to be awkward in any way for the students or the teachers, and so I wanted to create this class where I was giving the entire course, but I wanted to also offer a way for you to ask any questions to us and ask any questions to the major organizations we had helping and make this masterclass. So in order to make this masterclass, what you don't realize is months ago, beginning of season 4, we're reaching out to Advocates for Youth, Planned Parenthood, CDC, which is the Center for Disease Control in the United States, and like countless other organizations that helped us with this. We're reaching out to them and asking them, if you can offer advice to anyone of this age bracket, what would you offer them? Because we wanted this course to be for everyone, not just gay students, but everyone. So we wanted this course to be like, well, if you are straight, because we fully understand, this is part of the trailer for it, we fully understand that by not teaching how gay relationships work, it makes straight students feel like being gay is weird, and that contributes to them later in life being homophobic or transphobic. It hurts them just as much as it hurts the gay students by not learning about their own relationships. We wanted teachers to understand that really this education is not just vital to the 10% of your classroom that will later in life come out as LGBTQ, but it's vital for everyone to learn this information. And so we reached out to all these organizations a couple months ago, 4 months ago now, and asked them, hey, we want to do something big, like freaking huge. We want to do this, and will you help us? Every one of them said, yes, here's everything. Here's all the laws you need to know about for this. Here's for teaching this information. Here's everything you need. Here's diagrams. Here's everything. They were so helpful, and I want to thank them so much if they're watching right now, because I know they might be, because today was the day that we were going to announce everything like this. So, yeah. So I'm really sorry. I gotta keep from crying right now, because this is the class that I never had as a kid. I've waited my whole life to produce a class like this, and now it's a reality. It's on YouTube. We spoke with our YouTube contacts, and we said to them, hey, I know this is a wild idea, and I realize there are gonna be, it's a 14 chapter course that people will be taking. There's no test, by the way. There's no test at all. It's just a matter of we want to provide the information in an accurate way. And I said to my YouTube contact, look, kids nowadays are going to search Google for this. They're going to ask these questions. Most people of my generation, and here's the problem we had. Most people of my generation went online to find this information, but all we found about how gay relationships works was through adult websites and pornography. And so that's all we had to base our entire relationship on. And so what we said was, well, when you base your entire relationship mindset on what is on film in these things, you start thinking only in that respect. And so it basically means that people of my generation equate love to equaling sex. Love equals sex in our generation. And so what that develops into is a culture of the Grindr hookup culture. And so we see a lot of my generation nowadays only going for hookups because that's what they consider to be love. Of, well, if you're willing to be in a parking lot with me doing things, then that means you must love me. No, it doesn't mean you love the other person. It just is the physical act itself. And so a lot of my generation fell into this Grindr hookup culture, which is dangerous because they don't know anything about that of preventing the risk of different things. And so I said to my YouTube contact, I want to create a course that doesn't just cover relationships. I want to cover other aspects of the relationship. I know YouTube has policies on this, but can we get you to approve of can we send you a script and you approve of it before we produce the episode? And so what we did was the first entire half of this course is all about the relationships itself. So you're going to see chapters on how to communicate properly with your partner, of the 3 different types of communication. How do you get what you need out of a relationship with someone? Any kind of relationship, whether it's a friendship, a romantic attraction, whether it's a family member, whatever kind of relationship you have, what kind of communication skills do you need to develop that relationship well and give the other person what they need out of that relationship, but also get what you need out of that relationship in love. And so we did entire chapters on the difference between liking and loving. We did a whole bunch of relationships ones of like how to help you understand how to have a successful gay relationship. And there are a couple chapters in there dedicated to the sexual side of things. And that's what we needed approval on, because YouTube doesn't always allow that. But what we did special with this is our YouTube contacts allowed us to do this. So thank you so much to YouTube for this. But we offered it in an educational way where I said to them, people are going to find this information somewhere. They're going to. But we want to provide a platform where you can get all this information from accurate, credible, and reliable resources. We want to give you a way to get all this information in one place in a 1 hour long course. It's actually 50 minutes long. But in 1 hour, you're going to learn everything you need to know, not just about how to communicate in your relationship, the difference between liking and loving, but we want to provide a way for you to learn how to have safer sex. If you need that information, it's there for you. And so certain schools that we are in a sorry, can't talk. Excuse me. Certain schools that we've already been approached by with this course have said they're only going to show certain chapters of it, and that's perfectly fine, because basically we built this so that middle schools can show you chapters 1, 2, 7, and 9 and show you certain chapters of this course because that's what's appropriate for your age. And then later in your high school days, you can take the entire course and you can be shown the entire thing. But also, we created it on YouTube, which is the greatest part of it all, is because now, if your school doesn't allow teachers to talk about LGBTQ things in a positive light, which some school districts sadly have rules on this. If you're a teacher and you're asked questions about this, about gay relationships at all, you can say, hey, I'm not allowed to talk about gay relationships by our stupid school district rules, but here's a link to this YouTube channel. Go check out this masterclass. And so you can take this entire course for free online on this YouTube platform. And that's the most amazing part of it all is, and I want to thank all of the partners we've had on this, from Planned Parenthood, Advocates for Youth, CDC, all of these organizations, and to YouTube for helping us in making this masterclass happen. It's the class that I've always wanted, I've always needed to have, and I'm finally able to teach it. And it's a really big moment in our story of Power Rainbows, because here's the thing about the masterclass. Like, yes, you're going to need to be on a Google account of someone over 18, but you can easily trick that if you want to. We're not going to reprimand anyone, because I know what it's like being a 11-year-old wanting this information and needing this information. But and the cool part about it, Rebellious, by the way, all of the chapters in this course are going to be labeled. First off, they're in the description of, you go to this certain time code and you get to this certain chapter. So if you don't want to see any certain chapter, you can go in the description and click on a certain time code to go to the next chapter and skip that whole thing entirely. Also, on the play bar of the video, you'll be able to see all of the different chapter markers and go directly to whatever chapter you want. So even if you don't want to see anything about puberty or any of this, you can skip that chapter and go to the next one. It's perfectly fine, okay? So we built this for everyone. And that's the greatest part, because I know how vital it is for people to know all this information. And I'm just really excited, because it's the first time we can offer one of these courses. I know we've been offering a lot of educational episodes on a certain topic, but we've never gone to this extent. We've never spent this much time and effort. This is, by the way, this script took about a year. And we finally got all the organizations on board about 4 months ago, which really helped propel it to what it is now. But yeah, it's the first time we've done something this big, and I'm so excited, because as I told you in the very beginning, I don't really ever want to get to a point where, like, some people in the comments might go, well, masterclass. Well, this is the first, like, people might think that we're trying to sell this course to schools. No, that is not our purpose here. We don't want to, there are certain things like merchandise that, we want to sell, because, t-shirts and stuff like that, like, we have to sell it for, $30 a t-shirt, because the manufacturing company that makes this has to print a lot of different colors on this. The rainbow is not easy to print, because the printing process takes like 6 or 7 scans, rather than like a normal t-shirt you see only has like one color, and that's only one scan with a color in the printing process. This shirt alone takes like 7 or 8 scans through different colors to make it what it is. So it's a lot more difficult. And because of that, it cost about like $25 or something like that to make this shirt and ship it to you. So it's like, we're not making much profit at all on merchandise, and so we have to charge for merchandise. But on classes and stuff, some people were fully expecting us to get to a point where we're selling a course to schools. I don't want to get to that point. I don't want that to be, I don't want education to be something you have to, I don't want education behind a paywall, ever. There are going to be times on our show where, yes, we have a monetized platform now. You have to watch ads before our videos, because that helps us make our show. There's a reason why our new camera, like, it's helping so much and to make our show, and it's much better quality, much better everything, and we're able to make our episodes in about half the time it took before, because that camera is so good at what it does. But that camera also costs $2,000. So that money has to come from somewhere. And the really cool part about it is the education we want to provide on a free basis, where, yes, you're watching ads, to watch our videos. We're going to have corporate sponsors in the future. We're going to and by corporate sponsors, I don't mean not every big sponsor out there, but we might have colleges sponsoring us pretty soon in June here, of like, hey, check out our college. We're LGBTQ friendly. We have a GSA club at our school. We might have colleges sponsoring our show pretty soon, which is something we're definitely advertising right now to them. And that helps us bring revenue in so we can produce more episodes. We have merchandise. We have memberships on the channel. But you have to realize all of that money goes into a big pool to help us make new content. I don't take a penny from it yet. And I don't want to take a penny from it from a long time because I want this to help us make new content in the future. For instance, that Pride event in July, that one that we're producing, that's going to end up costing us right about $400 to $500 in one single day to produce that entire show because we need cameramen there on site to film the entire thing with us. And we need different equipment rented out for that day to make sure we have enough things to do. So it's very expensive to do this show, and on a weekly basis, a normal episode for us cost probably about $20 to $30 to produce a normal episode, with all the different costs involved with it. So it's when you're producing 150 episodes a year, that adds up. And so all of our episodes need monetization, but at the same time, you have to understand, I want to provide that education on as least of a paywall as we can. I don't want to have to ask people, hey, you have to pay an extra amount just to see this video. Like, yeah, the bloopers and outtakes for memberships, that's behind a paywall because we want to offer them really cool perks to be a member and to support us in that way. But the education itself is never going to be behind a paywall for us, as far as I'm currently thinking, because it shouldn't be. And so this entire course is going to be free online on YouTube for everyone. And so that way you can always see it. You can always enjoy it. And no matter what age you are, you can skip ahead to certain chapters if you need them. So I know masterclass kind of, that's a title a lot of people think is going to be behind a paywall. It's not going to be behind a paywall. It's free for everyone. So just know that in advance. That's my thinking. Because, again, that all goes back to this platform being an educational platform first, a business second. This is not... one day I want to make a living off of doing this, and I want a bigger studio and to live, because it's not that I want this show to pay all my bills, but one day, you got to understand, right now, this show takes about 45 hours a week to produce. So that's a lot of time. That's a full-time job right there. And so it's like, yeah, eventually that's got to pay some bills in order for me to keep this full-time job, you know? Because it takes time away from other jobs. That's what I meant. I have a question about YouTube for you. How do you make the different segments tab on YouTube? So basically, if you look in the description of an episode that has it, what we always do here. Sorry, rebellious. Just thirsty today. So what we always do in our description is we go like, today on our format for our description is always the format to our description. The full masterclass comes out April 30th, 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The trailer comes out at 6 a.m. The actual full course, the hour-long course, comes out at 6:15 a.m. So that's all going to be airing within 15 minutes right there. So our normal format for our description is always like, today on the show, whatever we're doing, right? And then PBR merch, it's join this channel to get access to perks. Here's a link to do that. Help us make new episodes by supporting PBR. Get us a coffee, subscribe, sponsor the show. Our links to social media, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Discord, and a link to the gear that we use to make this show. So if you're curious on what cameras we have, what lights we have, what microphones we're using to make this show, you can click on that link and it lists all of the equipment for our company. So you can learn. That's our rentals page where people can rent our equipment out, but it's also a page where you can learn what equipment we're using to make this show, what computers. Can you see us? So any YouTube creator, doesn't matter if you're monetized or not, you can write in your description of the video. All you have to do is type in 0 colon, which is the 2 dots, 00, and then write intro or whatever, and then each line in your description goes to and typically in the episodes we have chapters on, you'll see we have a section for list of our sources, and we'll list all of the websites where we got that information from. We'll list all of the episodes that you want to check out next that we mentioned in the episode of hey, go check out the Gayborhoods and Gaytrification episode. Well, that link is going to be in the description of the video and be hey, check out this episode next, and it lists a couple episodes that we mentioned in the episode. But then we also have a brief section in the description called chapters or sections, right? And we list all of the chapters in the episode of 0 colon 00 intro, and then you list whatever time code in the video it is. So for instance, right now at 1 hour and 41 minutes, we would list 1 colon 41 colon 00 or whatever, or 55, right? We would list that time code, and then we would say, all right, we talked about how to create chapters in a video. And basically, it goes time code, whatever the chapter name is. So for instance, in our upcoming masterclass, we have chapters on that. And so we said to people, well, let me see. So on that we said 0 colon 00 introduction, 2 colon 2 colon 26, which is 2 minutes and 26 seconds in, understanding your body. 5 minutes and 44 seconds in, communication skills. 9 minutes and 24 seconds in, setting boundaries. So on and so forth. After an hour, it goes 1 hour, 1 colon whatever time code of minutes, colon whatever time code of seconds. And so you basically watch your own video back. Even in your editing program, you can do this, where when you're watching it for the final time, I just write down the time codes, and I'm like, hey, this many minutes in, or this many seconds in, is when we start talking about that next chapter, And so I'll jot them all down on my little notebook right here that Becca got me. And I'll just be like, hey, this many seconds in. And then so when I'm creating the description for that episode, I'll just type those all in and create the chapter markers. And so you type those into the description when you're uploading a video. And you can even do this for videos that you already have on your channel and just go back and edit your description. But once you save those settings and have, in order to do it, you have to have 0 colon 00 as your first time code, and you have to put introduction, or you can put whatever chapter name and title you want there, but the time codes have to start with 000. And that way YouTube knows that this is what you're trying to do, and then each line subsequent after that is a different time code until the very end. And that way it knows this is what you want that chapter to be. This is where you want it to start, and this is the title that you want it to have. And that way, once you save those settings, reload your YouTube video, and all of a sudden you're going to see the chapter markers on the bottom of the screen change. And all of a sudden you'll see those bars. Can we spam your videos to get you more views and money for each view? If you do that too much, then YouTube doesn't like us too much but you can definitely share our videos with others. We love that. But yeah, that setting boundaries bit would have helped me 20 years ago. Yeah. Also, section no means no. We do have a section in there about consent, so you know. Like I said, I didn't miss anything about gay relationships. Everything is in there in that master. It's called a master class for a reason. We've been thinking and writing that script for over a year now. Like, this is the longest time I've ever spent making a script before we shot it. And before we made that episode, we went on Amazon and we just bought, oh god, how many? Hold on. It was 15, 30, oh god, it was like 30, 40, 50, 60, 90. It was over, oh yeah, no, it was like $90 to $100 of stuff that we've bought. No, I'm sorry, it was $105 some dollars on Amazon that we bought for this episode. We bought $105 of props just for this episode. It was crazy, but well worth it, as you'll see in the episode. So, like, that's the thing. You don't understand. Like, it cost us normally about $20 to $30 to make an episode, and that includes the electricity to run the studio and the editing suite. It cost us money to have hard drives for all of the episodes and have the footage here forever. And it cost us typically about $20 to $30 all in to make an episode, a normal episode that you end up seeing that's like 10 to 20 minutes long. Certain episodes, like we did an episode on Star Trek, LGBTQ themes in Star Trek. That episode cost us about $65 total, because I had, like, Chris was here for 15 hours that day, 15 hours straight, and so we needed to get food, and we needed to have plenty to drink here while we're in the studio editing, so that cost us quite a bit more to make that episode. And that episode didn't do that well in views, so you got to keep in mind, when we make an episode, it costs a lot of money, and it doesn't always give us that return. But this production, it cost us about, I'm going to say about $40 in electricity and hard drive space and so on and so forth to make the episode itself, plus $105 in props to make the episode. So you're talking about one masterclass costing us $150. So, like, and then people get mad at us. Oh, how come you have ads before your videos, Matt? I'm like, shut the hell up. Like, it costs a lot of money to make this show. When you're trying to do 150 episodes, just pure math here, right? When we say it costs an average of, like, let's just go with a bare minimum on every episode, $20 per episode, times 150 episodes a year. That's $3,000 of expenses. $3,000, and that's the bare minimum each episode cost. So yeah, we're spending quite a bit of money to make the show, and so we're like, and that's not including cameramen for Pride events. That's not including pizza for when we're making an episode for a longer production day. That's not including the $105 of props we need for one episode. That's not including the crown and the book that we needed for props for the commercial at the beginning of season 4. That's not including any of that. It's like, yeah, we have ads for a reason, people. Like, watch them. and that's why we sincerely thank all of our members and our Patreon supporters and our sponsors for helping us make this show. If YouTube wasn't willing to put tens of thousands of dollars into us for 2 Junes in a row, 2 Pride months in a row, this would not be a viable thing. We would severely be limited in the number of episodes we can do. I would still want to do them, no doubt, but it just wouldn't be as good of a quality as a show as we like. So I don't want to just make videos. I don't want to just set up a camera in a corner and do it. I want to make it professionally looking. Keep in mind, all of that, like the studio, the TV studio that we built for the show has just about $10,000 of equipment in it. I mean, that equipment is stuff that we've had for our company too, but we use a $10,000 TV studio to make the show and a $25,000 editing bay to edit the show and to write the show. So between the sets here, it's $35,000 of equipment that we're constantly using on a daily basis. But I will say that equipment makes it so much easier. We're able to make episodes now in a matter of an hour, because it's just so rapid and the equipment is so good that we can trust it now. So, yeah. Thank you. This makes me so happy. I wish one day I can meet you. Well, we are going to have meetups. So July 17th, we're going to be at the Schuylkill County Pride event. We're traveling quite a bit to get there, but it's definitely a day that we're going to really celebrate and be there with our full crew. But you're more than welcome to join us that day. Oh, you're in Texas. That makes it a little bit more hard to get to Pennsylvania. But yeah, I mean, one day down the road, I still really want to do meetups and stuff like that. So we'll definitely think about that in the future. We're the best chance we have of doing a tour to get to people is are like major organizations or schools sponsoring it and saying, hey, Matt, come in to be a motivational speaker into our school. So talk with your teachers, talk with your principal about having me come in as a speaker. I'm more than willing to fly out to do that. Definitely. Maybe right now in COVID time, it wouldn't be the best. We can just do a Zoom call, but yeah, I'm more than willing to do that. For any kind of GSA club you have or your school, get in touch. Our business email is on the About page on our website. Or on the YouTube channel too. I am unprofessional indie creator compared to you. Rebellious, you make awesome content. Don't say that. Rebellious makes awesome content on their channel, and you should be really proud of your work. Put it this way: when I was your age, I wasn't creating near. When I was your age, Rebellious, I wasn't creating near as good of content as you're creating, and I create this kind of content now because, first off, we have a team. Like, the graphics on our channel are really good. This is my personal graphic, because I've studied graphic design too, but a lot of the graphics on the channel, especially in that Star Trek episode, are by Chris, because he's a VFX artist. He does that every day of his life. And so when I need advice on how to make graphics, Chris is there for that. Tyler, what was your question, Tyler? I'm ready to come out as abrosexual and Alexi gender fluid, but I think a few members of my family will be unsupportive. Not worried for safety, just not sure how they'll feel or life will be after. Tips. Don't come out to anyone that you don't know for certain will be supportive. That's our advice there. We said it over and over again in our coming out advice series. It's the advice from the biggest organizations in the world on this. And I'm sorry for saying, if you don't think they'll be supportive, don't invite them to your party. Look at coming out as a party, first and foremost. If you don't think someone's going to be supportive and there to celebrate with you at your party, don't invite them to that party. It's the one party in your life that you can actually control. And at your age, you can't control who comes to your birthday party, but you can control who comes to your coming out party. So just keep that in mind. I'm sorry to say, don't come out to them, but be selective. And hopefully when you come out to certain people that are supportive, here's my advice. If you want other people that might be unsupportive to know that you're anything LGBTQ, before coming out to them, come out to other people that you know for certain will be supportive, and how to circulate in the gossip in that way. Yeah, we're lagging a little bit here. Let me see. It's lagging because my server just turned back on. That's the disadvantage of having a server that backs up online to an external location. It helps us, and because we, just in case this entire place burned to the ground, we have all of our footage on an off-site server. But the disadvantage is it's always trying to upload files to that server, because we have about 17 terabytes of footage right now that needs to be backed up. So it's a lot of footage. And so it's constantly trying to do that, and it takes a bit to do that. So it takes a bit for our server to turn off. Anyway, hopefully it's a little bit better now. But yeah. Anyway, any other questions? We're going to be online for probably another 5 or 10 minutes, and that's me it for the stream here. I know it's cutting it short today. I know it's weird. But I wanted to just hop on and say hi. So any other questions you have, ask them now. And oh yeah, and if you haven't already, go check out our new song Valid, because it's on this YouTube channel. It's not, I put it on the music channel too, but I decided you guys would like it a lot more on this channel rather than the music channel. So, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, on I'm gonna be sharing the Facebook event and the live stream for Reading Pride live stream. I'm gonna be sharing that on the community tab on our channel. Hopefully by Monday I'll be sharing that event. So you can go there and check out. You can subscribe to their channel so you can get notified when that goes live on April 23rd, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, whatever time zone you're in. Just make sure that it's, whatever time zone you're in there. Gay Relationships Masterclass, April 30th, 6 a.m. Pride Month celebration for us begins May 28th. We, again, will have episodes every single Friday at 6 a.m. for you to enjoy. So we're not taking breaks between these. We're just, these are the major things that are happening. This was fun. It really is always cool to get to see y'all and other fans. Awesome. It's awesome to see you guys as well. know of any ace-friendly pride events in the Pacific Northwest. Pacific North. Sorry. Shut up. Okay. I had to think about that for a moment. Not that I am aware of. I'm in Pennsylvania, so I don't know of many local pride events out that way. I just know about the main ones of like San Francisco Pride. A lot of the bigger ones canceled this year because of COVID, but they're still having something online. So my suggestion is to look up online, like Google pride events near me or whatever, or pride events near whatever town you live in or whatever bigger city that's near you, and kind of look it up from there. Many organizations are going online this year with theirs because of COVID again, but other ones are still having theirs, so just look it up and just Google it. I think that's a great way to say it. Also, your state has an equality organization. For instance, in Pennsylvania, we have Pennsylvania Equality Project that I'm also the vice president of. But so I get to sort of see things before y'all see them. But with every state in the United States, each one of them has an equality project similar to ours, and they will be the ones to share information about pride events. So you can either reach out to them privately if you're afraid your parents will find out and be like, hey, are there any pride events near me? And then you can ask a friend to go with you or to take you, a supportive friend to take you to that. Or you can just simply Google near you. I think the Equality Project near you would be better served because they're the ones helping to advertise local events. And they would be the first ones to know about events near you before it's made public information, too. So, for instance, like Pennsylvania Equality Project, we're notified from a pride event in Pennsylvania that they're having the event on a certain day. Right, like for right now, I will tell you, just for an example here, we already know when the Reading, PA pride event is going to be. We already know that information, and we're just waiting on them to publish it publicly. So in a week or two, hopefully by the Pride event, or by April 23rd, they'll have it public information for us to tell you about it. But so we already know what date they have in mind, what time, where it's going to be. We already know all that information right now, whereas it's not public information yet. So I would reach out to the Equality Project near you or an LGBTQ center near you. They're going to know the information a lot sooner, But ACE friendly, a lot of pride events are ACE friendly. It's just one of the things we push for in our we did an interview with an aromantic and ace spectrum activist, an ace activist a couple weeks ago, with Marshall John Blount. He's a great activist, great person to get to know. And with that, we covered how pride events can be more ace friendly. So another great section of that video to check out if you want to. Valid is a great song, so yeah, go watch it. Oh, thank you, Oddity. I'm eating a rainbow cupcake. Good for you, Rebellious. Oh, rainbows are the best, and rainbows taste so good. I don't know, I'm just agreeing it's odd. Should probably stop, but still, what? Cupcakes are awesome. I'm glad I came back and caught alive. I'm so glad you came back too. Kyle says, I came out to my mom as trans and she seemed like she was supportive, but in a later conversation with her, she tried to tell me that my feelings might just be my autism. What do you think I should do? Okay. There are a number of these cases where we hear about all the time of people that have autism are accused of not actually being LGBTQ because they have autism. In fact, there's a whole group of LGBTQ people. Rebellious, you're like on the ball. Thank you for that. The link. I see that thing. I can mention like any episode, and then like a minute later, Rebellious is just like, here's the link to it, and I'm like, this is why you're an awesome wrench. Oh, I can show you this before I forget. This is probably the best thing that ended up happening from Rebellious's stuff. This is the best Rebellious thing I've ever seen. I'll show you to you on stream here. Okay. Rebellious, you know what I'm talking about? This is the best piece of content you've ever put out. Your best video. But I'll show it to you really quick. Rebellious puts out some good stuff. Anyway, so there's even like, if you watched our Pride Flags, What They All Mean episode, the second one, the 94 of them, there's a pride flag for autistic LGBTQ people, because there's so many people who don't believe autistic people are also LGBTQ, because they have autism. And it's so weird, because statistically speaking, they have just as much chance of being LGBTQ as anyone else. And it's like 10% of our world's population is LGBTQ, so why wouldn't people with autism really, truly be LGBTQ? And I don't understand it. I don't understand why people don't believe that. It's like, saying, okay, just because I'm born with white skin, I can't be LGBTQ. It's like, no, what the hell? You know, like, so it makes no sense at all why people don't believe that. So I would just, unfortunately, with people like that, there's no real way to change their minds with presenting them. You can present them with a million facts, and it still could be, hey, like, I can send you a link to all the data on autism and LGBTQ people, but the truth is, these people that find this, and the people that believe that way are so ingrained in that way of thinking that facts don't matter to them. And so no matter how many facts you present to them, it doesn't matter to them, because facts aren't important. And it's a shame. It's truly a shame. But so what do I think you should do? I think you should believe in yourself, and just know that you're valid for whoever you are, for your gender, for who you love. You should just believe in yourself, and that is all that matters. And also know that here at PBR and here in the LGBTQ community, you have a support group. There's an autism support group for LGBTQ people. So check out that maybe. And autistic LGBTQ groups near you or online, even if they're not near you, become a part of them. Get the support group that you need. The biggest thing to remember here is that you're never, ever, ever alone, no matter what. So just know that you're not alone and that you are valid. And you'll always have a support group here at PBR and in the LGBTQ. That's what you need to remember. No matter what your mom says, just know that you're supported here. Okay? And I wish I can have... I wish there was a website I can send you that you can be like, here, Mom. But truly the best thing that you can remember here is that you're not alone, and that you are valid, and that you have a support group here at PBR. Here in the LGBTQ, you have a family that supports you no matter what, and you have support groups for those that are autistic and trans. There are support groups that exist for that, so go research that. But I want to show you this. Camera and display? No. Yeah, I'll show you this. Okay, so here's the bestest piece of bestest piece of content I've ever seen recently from Rebellious. Okay, are you ready, Rebellious? and you're like, what's the video so I can find a link to it? No. That's not the way this works. Ah. All right, here.
Fight some homophobes. Homophobes taste good.
You probably shouldn't say that on stream.
I'm sorry. Okay,
Homophobes taste good. You sound like you can't believe you say that.
I'm not literally a cannibal, guys. Please don't chop this out and assume the worst.
I can just already.
Pastry cannibal time. Ah. Yeah, that got taken down from your channel. But, when you're a video editor, it was one of the best moments on Rebellious's recent live stream. Admit it, you didn't think that was the clip I was going to show. Rebellious cannibal time. What are you talking about? Who posted that? That was me. I did. Remember how on your live stream, by the way, I listened to way too many Taylor Swift songs recently. And AJR. Oh, they're so good. But on your live stream, I had screen grabbed that because right after that moment, you're like, please, no one clip this out and stuff. And so, like, right away, I go on and I clip it out and I post the video. And then I shared the link on your YouTube page, right? And then I'm like, if anyone wants to see this pastry cannibal time. And then who was on the stream with you at the time? Whoever was on the stream with you. They ended up, like, being like, hey, I was going to delete it right away, right? All of a sudden, whoever was on the stream with you said, right as soon as I showed it to you, as soon as I sent the link, and as soon as you had it on yours, they're just like, oh my God, please keep that up. I want to share it with other people of like that someone made a meme out of Rebellious. And I'm just like, yeah, sure, I can keep it up if you want as a private link, so only those with the link can actually see it. But yeah, I just kept it on my YouTube channel for now. And that way, whoever was on this, one of your wrenches could like share it if they wanted to. But yeah, I was like, yeah, this is gonna be fun. So yeah, and it's there. Wolf Gaming says, I really enjoy your videos and you help me go through tough times. Aw. I'm so glad we can be here for you. I'm so glad. Seriously, you don't have any idea how awesome it is to be in this position where, and I think that's why we have so many team members who volunteer to help make this show and produce it and to write it and to spend all this time making it, because people believe in us and our effort, and people know that we're helping a lot of people out there like you. So I want to thank you for being here just as much as you want to thank our producers for helping make the show. I'm going to meme the crap out of Matt. Okay, so I will show you. Okay, so here's what our students have done recently. If you're not aware, we have a Discord server. And on that Discord server, where's it at? Where's my photos tab? Oh, there it is. Okay. On the Discord, people have been making memes out of me, which is always fun. Where is it at now? Oh god. Did I completely delete it? I probably did. No, I got rid of it. Darn it. I had to go back into the Discord. All right. So anyway, people on the Discord server have created memes of me, apparently. And it is hilarious. Fan art and mock-ups? Would it be under there? No, where'd it go? Oh, I should have asked for these earlier. But no, people had like really, really funny photos of me. Is anyone online? We had like really funny photos of me. Where it was just basically like, if I can find one of them really quick. Does anyone have them? Recently deleted. Alright. Pretty recent. Oh, okay. Here's some of them, right? We did a special stream on the Discord server the other day. Completely on there, right? And we did. I was with Becca for this live stream on the Discord, and she said something. I looked over to her, and all of a sudden this meme pops up. When your mom barges in on you when you're watching PBR, you scream as an LGBTQ. So that became a meme on the channel. And then someone went back into a really, really old video of ours, and like on season 1 or 2, this is, and decided to clip and screenshot this out of it. Just that face, like just the O. And then people on the Discord started putting things in my mouth, which was very, very funny, for a little while until it turned adult, and that was weird for a while. So that was the thing. And then Rebellious decides to create a meme of me as Papamonte, my little bone. Please don't clip that out. But yeah, so it's been a very fun little bit having memes being created of me. It's an awkward way to be online, because I make so many different faces when I'm making the show that people now have every single facial expression of me, and you can, in any of our videos, find some sort of face where I'm doing something weird. And so I no longer have the ability to hide myself online and be like, oh, please don't make memes of me. Like, every single face that you would ever need me to have, I've already had it online, and so you can screenshot it out. And so people have taken advantage of that, definitely. Yeah, it's kind of cool. But it was weird at first for me to see memes of myself, but then I'm like, you know what? This is actually kind of neat. So I'm actually kind of lucky, in a way. Like, I could take it as a derogatory thing, but also I'm like, you know what? It's kind of cool that people think so high of me that they're willing to meme me, and so I take it as a compliment. And then there's other times when I'll be like going through, and people will draw my persona as a Labrador and as Papamonte, and like share it with me on the Discord. And I'm so honored by that, because it means that you guys respect me, and you guys would be willing to spend that much time creating something just for me, knowing that it's only for one person out there. So that's really cool for me. But also, and another thing that's happening is, I forgot to tell you guys this in the very beginning. Yeah, like, yes, we're having the online book signing that you can literally get signed copies no matter where you are in the world. They're going to be available that week for the 23rd event, online book signing. So you can sign up to get an online, you can sign up on our website to get a signed copy of the book right there. During that event, the Gay Relationships Masterclass, our Pride celebration begins May 28th. But also, what I forgot to tell you was, I cannot believe I forgot to tell you this. We have brand new merch coming out May 28th as well. So right in time for Pride Month, we have a couple new items for our merchandise store going to be dropping. So I know, it's so exciting. So you get to show off your pride. A couple of the new items are going to be for closeted people. So you can get them even if you're closeted and other people don't know you're gay or trans yet, or non-binary. You can get those and be like, hey, I get to show off my pride without really showing off my pride, without outing myself. So all of that is coming May 28th. Oh, it's going to be so exciting. This year is so exciting. I mean, holy crap. We're, like, to think about it this way, we're already at episode 66 of season 4. There's been 66 episodes already made for season 4. And so, and that's not even including June yet, where we have 3 episodes a week. That's not including October, where we have 7 episodes a week. So, I mean, 66, and we're not even halfway through the season yet. So, yeah, it's kind of cool. So we will be back. Hey, get your parents to get you some merch. Get y'all some cool. What is a pride map? I don't know what's a pride map. Something Rebellious is doing. Anyway, we will see you back here next Friday for two brand new two brand new public episodes. 1 brand new episode for members as well that day. So 3 episodes are actually airing that day. So yeah, I mean, we have, what is it? Yesterday, if you didn't see already, we have a brand new episode on Fun with Flags, a brand new series on our channel where we take an entire episode and we dedicate it to one pride flag, where we talk about the history and evolution of one pride flag. That first episode of that new series just aired yesterday, so go check it out on our channel for the LGBTQ pride flag. We have next week, we have the history and story of the gay handkerchief code, and then a second one for more adult audiences of what all their colors mean. Third one for members of the bloopers and outtakes, because that one had some pretty good outtakes, I'll tell you. That one had some pretty good outtakes. Because it was like, well, it was an episode all about, like, where we had the whole cowboy skit. So I'm glad you liked the new episode, by the way. For my birthday, I'm getting a shirt that has a NASA symbol on it, but instead the word NASA, it says gay. Oh, that's cool. Are you sure you don't want some PBR dual flags? Anyway, so actually I should do that before the stream is over. Camera display. So yeah, we have a bunch of new merch out this season so far: mugs, t-shirts, accessory pouches, brand new dual flags design there. Rainbow egghead, brand new design there. Valid trans t-shirts. We have bisexual merchandise. Love lives somewhere in purple. NB for non-binary people. The 2021 calendar, digital planners available. Valid song is available now, so you can download that. Also, you can get that on iTunes, Amazon Music, Spotify, all that kind of places. We have socks, posters, masks, beach towels for the summer coming up here. iPhone, Android cases, Samsung cases, stickers, t-shirts, hoodies, pillows, Pride Academy merch, bunch of stuff, a bunch of merchandise, but we have more merchandise stuff coming out in the beginning of Pride celebration. So that's going to be something on our channel. And yeah, it's we have a bunch of cool stuff that is already out, but we have a couple new items that are, I'm not going to say anything about them because I can't say anything about them. Anyway, we have a contract. So really cool. But quick hide the end screen button. Oh no. Yeah. Normally my streams are like 6 hours long, so I'm trying to be like conservative nowadays. But I will say that you'll be seeing so just give you a little rundown of what's about to happen. Next Friday we have 3 episodes coming out, and the cowboy skit was so funny. That took a lot of time to create because it was just so funny of a script that I broke down so many times. You're gonna love the bloopers for that. Then the following week, Friday, we have the book signing at 7 p.m., but we also have the 24-hour live stream on the channel here. So you can see 24/7, 24 hours of content right here on the channel that day. And then the following week, so there's 2 things happening that day. One live stream on Reading Pride's channel, and then one live stream on this channel happening for 24 hours. So all of that is one day. Gay Relationships Masterclass coming out the following week on April 30th. That's again on this channel. And then a bunch of other episodes that we can't talk about yet, but we have another fun little skit coming out on 6-hour streams are great. You're about to see a 24-hour one, though. 24 hours. But then on, what is it, May 17th, I believe it is? I have to look it up here for a second. Yeah, May 17th is International Day Against Homophobia. We have another skit coming out that day, which was probably the most fun skit I've done in a long time. That was really fun to do. So you're going to really enjoy that. And then again, on May 28th, brand new merchandise hits our store, and we have a bunch of new... we have a bunch of content starting that day, 3 episodes a week for all Pride Month long. So that is our live stream today. Thank you all for joining us for today's awesome, amazing stream. And thank you too. Let me get back to it because I wasn't prepared for this part. On super chats, where are they at? Here we go with our super chats. Why does this pop up? I did not need to know this information. I know what super chats are. Shut up, YouTube. Oh, here we go. All right. So thank you to AFEX, AFEXTS, for your super chats of the day. Thank you so much. Thank you to all of our members. Wait, why does it say no data coming in? Where's our members at? I don't know where they are. Oh, here we are. Thank you to all of our members. Paula Johnson Chambers, OT John 06, Juan Carlos V, Vladimir Pacello. You know what? This is really hard to pronounce. Paula John Chambers, OT John 06, JUAN Carlos V, WLADIMIR, which I take as Waddle Vladimir PACHECO Pacheco. Okay. Vladimir Pacheco. Richard Smith, which is one of our producers now on the show too. Thank you so much for being a member too. Musical Moon and Paige Narst. Thank you so much for being members of our channel and helping support our LGBTQ educational content on a weekly basis. And go check out all of your membership perks over on our community tab all the time. You can always see them available now for you to enjoy. And thank you all for joining us today and being here. Thank you all for watching our show. I'm sorry I'm not able to do super chats. That's perfectly fine. We're not forcing anyone to super chat, by the way. Like, it's not a mandatory thing. Like today, we have perks available on the show, but you know, we only raised $2 in chat revenue, which is perfect. I'm not here for the money, people. I'm just like, hey, it's available if you want, you know? I know you guys all support what we do, and I know there's a lot of people that can't financially give to the show. All we ask for those people is, hey, watch the show with the ads on, and that way it helps a little bit in ad revenue. And that's all we ever ask. And all we ever want from people is your support, your loving comments to keep us motivated and to keep us going. And we want to know that we're actually helping. So any suggestions you have for future episodes, leave them in the comments of videos. Like, if you have a question about something LGBTQ related, ask your question in the comments. I'll always try to get back to you. I'll always try to, personally, I'll try to reply. All the other producers on the show, some of them do have access to the YouTube channel now, but I always try to personally respond to everything that I can or that I have time for, because we have so many members now, and we have so many, like, once you hit 25,000 subscribers, it's like, kind of goes crazy. But we do appreciate all of the help from special people like Rebellious Pastry for helping us this entire stream moderate the comments and for adding links whenever I mention an episode. I do definitely appreciate that. Thank you so much to all of our... You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to shout them all out now because they deserve it. They are awesome people. They are awesome people. Always. Oh, good Lord. Why do I click on that one? Oh, no. I'm so unprepared. All right, here we go. All right. So thank you to our... oh, God. Why? No. God. Dang it. This is so... Why is this so difficult to, like, find these people? All right. Thank you to our writers and producers, David Moore, Marissa Moyer, Chris Krasnowski. Our producers, Rebecca Liptock, Mike Johnson, and I really should have this like on a card ready to go. All right, here we go. So, writers and producers, David Moore, Marissa Moyer, Chris Krasnuski. To our producers, Rebecca Liptock, Mike Johnson, and Richard Smith. To our Discord managers, Kat Henderson, and myself, safety managers and travel advisors, Gene. Yes, we have a safety manager on the show that tells us everything that we need to do in order to make things safe around here and for COVID restrictions, all that kind of stuff. And he's also our travel advisor to help us with when we go on different trips to New York City to film Stonewall Inn. He's the guy that coordinates all the travel stuff for us, Gene Haslam. So terrific people there, and thank you to our moderator, Rebellious Pastry. We should add Rebellious to our about thing. Anyway, just side note for myself there later. So thank you to all of our team members for helping us this entire stream and for helping us with this entire channel in general. And thank you to our supporters, our members, everyone that supports us. And thank you so much for being here and watching and enjoying. It takes me like 20 minutes to say goodbye. I'm sorry, okay? I love you all so much. I don't like to say goodbye, but I know I have to. So have a great night, everyone. And check in for brand new episodes every single week, every single Friday at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. New episodes and our special events. Check them out. Make sure you're checking in on our community tab all the time because we're always posting about these main events, and we have a lot more information to come on them. So thank you so much. And don't forget to like this video, comment down below your LGBTQ friendly thoughts, hit that rainbow subscribe button so you don't miss out on new episodes of the show, share this video with others. As always, I'm your host, Professor Pride. This has been this month's episode of the Professor Pride Podcast. Bye for now. Have a gay day, everyone, and bye for now. Bye, peeps. I said peeps.